All right, hopefully you all can hear me now. All right.
It's day 6.
So sorry about
it's
that.
Day 5,
It's day
Peggy.
5.
It's not even day 6.
It's day 6.
Welcome to Horn Camp Connect, live from KBHC 2022. Obviously, we're having a great time silencing each other. So, glad that you all could join us for our 5th morning in a row. Speaking of which, before we get started, so some of you may or may not know that at Kendall Betts Horn Camp, we have an award here that recognizes a distinguished service or acts that go above and beyond. And so we were discussing as we were getting set up this morning that some of you have joined us every morning, and it's really quite remarkable. So the award that we have is actually called the Clammy Award. As you know, on Horn, Miss Note can be called a clam. So we wanted to give a digital honorable mention to at least several of you who we've noticed have joined us every morning, Alan, Reed, and Lupe. All right, you guys, especially Lupe, you've been joining us from Alaska, where it's 4 in the morning, and that is nothing short of remarkable. Sorry. Anyway, so I wanted to just give like a digital Clammy Award shout out to all of you. So we really appreciate that you guys are joining us. So it makes our day, and we like to have a good time, and so we've been having fun with that. Okay, we're gonna launch right into our warm-ups now. We're gonna start with stretching, so let's stand up and get ready to play the horn. Okay, I'm gonna change my screen so that I'm not headless in this. Here we go. That's better. Okay, so we're gonna get the body warmed up and ready to play horn. This is twisting, 10 reps, 1 on each side is 1 rep. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Folding over, 10 counts. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Side bends. Okay, let's pull this way first. 10 counts. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Arm rotations, 10 backward first, then 10 forward. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Shoulder shrugs, very similar. All right. 10 backward, 10 forward. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Shake it out. Okay. Shoulder rolls for me are particularly my favorite. When I play off the leg often, and I notice it in my right shoulder, it starts to get sore from holding the horn up. So I particularly appreciate the shoulder shrugs. Okay, moving right into our breathing. We're gonna skip the first couple that we've been doing the last couple of days. We're gonna go right into 315, 218, 121, and 1 who knows how many, okay? So this is 3 in, 15 out with a very controlled exhalation from 100% to 0% over the 15 counts. Here we go, 3 for nothing. 1, ready, go. Good. Nice deep breath in and out. When you finish that, let's do 2 and 18, 3 for nothing. 1, ready, go. Good. Okay. Now, 121. Right, 3 for nothing. 1 nice deep breath all the way full. 21 counts all the way out. 3 for nothing. 1, ready, go. Okay, good. Last one. 1 nice deep breath in, and then who knows how many out. You get to be the person to decide, okay? Try to control your breath nice and slow, nice easy exhalation. Maybe we can get up to 35, maybe we can get ourselves to 40. Let's see how far we can go, right? A nice slow exhalation, very controlled. So 1 in, who knows how many out? 3 for nothing. 1, ready, go. Oh, okay. I barely made it to 45. All right. Whew.
Oh no, barely.
Barely, right? I know. We had a participant yesterday that made it around 50 or so. So that was pretty impressive. I did not make it with him. So, anyways, let's do 3 capacity breaths. So, inhale all the way to 100%. Keep the throat open. Take 2 nice big sips on top of that, really stretching the lungs. Exhale forcefully all the way. Hiss until you can hiss no more. All right, we're gonna do 3 of these all together. Okay, here we go. Ready, go. Man, that nice deep breath afterward feels so good, right? All the participants upstairs, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna pass out." You're not gonna pass out, but it is something to get used to. Let's do 2 more, okay? Second one, here we go. Deep breath in. Okay, last one. Here we go. Nice deep breath in. Here we go. All right, good. All right, keep that breathing going. So that time, I actually felt a little pop. Maybe it was a collarbone or a rib or something. Not a bad pop. It just means that I was expanding, right? I think it's a really good indicator. It means that we're getting our bodies loosened up and ready for capacity breathing. All right, this is awesome. Pop breath intro. Okay, so what a pop breath is, if you haven't seen this before, we're going to inhale against the top surface of our hand right here, okay? So we're going to work to inhale against that blockage, right? If you do that, no air can get in, right? So we're going to focus on inhaling against the resistance while focusing on where would my air be going if I were able to take in air. We're going to focus low today, okay? So we're going to think here and then the back here. So the first time we're going to try this, I want you to think of this, expanding here, then expanding here. What we then do is we release the hand, that's the pop. We let air rush into our bodies to these spots, okay? So it's going to look like this. Okay, so you may have noticed that I expanded up here too, that's fine, but let's do one pop breath where we're focusing on expanding our lower bodies, okay? Let's try this once together. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're gonna add 2 more zones to that, okay? I think I'm allowed to add these today. Maybe they're supposed to be added tomorrow, but we're gonna add them today, all right? And then Bernard will have nothing to talk about tomorrow. Nothing at all, right? Okay, so we're gonna do 4 zones now this time with our pop breath. We're going to expand low, forward, low, backwards, upper, forward, upper, backwards. So it's gonna look like this. Okay, so I'm thinking of expanding, this is lower, this is upper, right? I'm expanding all 4 zones, okay? And I know I'm doing it on the sides, but I'm thinking this way too, all right? Again, I've said it before, I'm gonna keep repeating myself. We wanna fill up as if our lungs were a balloon, okay? So let's try this. Let's try 2 pop breaths, expanding in all 4 zones, okay? Here we go, here's the first one. Cool. One more of those, okay? And by the way, we want to start at like our 20 or 30% full range. So we're not starting with the full lungs, right? We're starting pretty close to empty. That way we can get a really good rush, okay? So here we go. Oh, for me, that was a better one, all right? I started lower on the empty scale, right? So I was really able to get that good rush. Okay, awesome. We're going to move on to our free buzzing and first notes on the horn. We can sit down for this one. All right, I can adjust my screen again. Okay, that looks good. All right. So we're going to start with our easy free buzz, okay? It can be anywhere in the range that's comfortable for you. Mine tends to be a little higher. You can try lower or higher, wherever you want to free buzz. And you may even notice I usually say my free buzz is terrible, but I actually think it's getting better because I'm doing all the free buzzing in these warm-ups every day. So who would have thought? Actually make you a better player, right?
Practicing. Oh.
Practicing, yeah. Practice makes better. Okay, so let's do some long tone free buzzes all together, right? Wherever it's comfortable, just air and buzz from a really relaxed place. Let's try it. Okay, awesome. Let's put it on the mouthpiece, right? So I believe our triad is. I believe that's our CEG, but my ear could be playing tricks on me. We will find out in a minute. So try to pick one of these notes if you can, whichever one is most comfortable for you, okay? And then we're gonna blow nice, warm, spinning, active, warm air. I said warm twice, that's great. That means I want it to be really warm. Right through the center of the pitch with an easy buzz. Here we go. Awesome, excellent. Remember 2 days ago, if you were joining us, I said that I want your notes to have a life of their own, right? beginning, a middle, an end, and that they're always going somewhere. And later that day, Ali, one of our staff members who was helping us that morning, was giving me a hard time. He was like, "You said something really funny that just struck me, and I've been laughing about it all day." And I was like, "What's that?" He said, "You said, I hope your notes have a nice life." It didn't even occur to me, but it is true. I do hope they have a nice life. So, with our first notes on the horn, let's create notes that have nice lives. Okay, C, E, or G. We'll see if my ear is betraying me. Any note you like? Really easy. Right? My ear was fairly accurate. Okay, hopefully that felt easy. Nice first notes on the horn. That's going to transition us nicely into our ho-do-do. Okay, try to stay on the F horn. I'm going to go about this tempo. I'm not going to set a metronome. We're just going to have to internalize our metronomes together. Oh, do, do. And off we go. 4 for nothing. 1, 2, ready. Two, three. Two, three. Two, three. Two, two, three. Two, three. Last one, three. Excellent. Okay, that goes right through our ho-do-dos. I love that. All right, it's just about air and buzz and adding a nice easy tongue on top of the air and the buzz. Okay, so that takes us into our song of the day, an Edo lullaby, traditional Japanese. Okay, we're going to sing this first, then we're going to buzz, then we're going to create. So this one I was noticing as we've now advanced further into the week, the pitch intervals are a little more challenging. So this one's going to exert your pitch recognition skills. Okay, so we're going to do this on. I'm going to sing this on solfege, but you can sing it on any syllable that you want. La or do or do, whatever feels most comfortable. Ah is fine. Okay, so we're going to start on la. This one's a little little high for me. We're gonna figure it out. Okay. Hopefully I can make it with solfege. Let's try this all together, singing through it. Okay. 1, 2, ready, go. La la sol, la do la sol, mi so do la sol, do re la sol, do re mi do re. Woo! All right, awesome. My audience of 2 here is ripping their clothes off. They can't believe how amazing. Okay, so
I don't know what you're saying.
right? Okay, so let's try buzzing this on the mouthpiece. La is our starting pitch. All right, blow through your notes, not at them. Here we go. All together. 2, 3. Awesome. All right. Cool. This is a great one. It's really reminding me of all the work that Natalie does, right, with solfege and ear training and her new book, The Singing Approach to Horn Playing. Right? This is, I've seen a lot of her exercises and they're really amazing. So as much work as you can do, just even a little snippets on a daily basis with solfege, singing, and ear training. Remember that if you think you're bad at something and you're going to avoid it, you will always stay bad at it. So be brave, especially in the practice room when you're by yourself. Okay, let's play this on the horn. Again, blow through your notes, not at them. Let's give this a try. Count us off 4 for nothing. 1, 2, ready. Starting to like this one, even though it's challenging. Okay, let's move right along to our free buzz builder. Okay, so I'm going to try this at where it's printed. The last couple of days I've been starting higher because that's where my free buzz is more comfortable, but nope, can't do it. Ooh. E is about the lowest I can go, so I'm going to transpose where it's printed up into A horn. But feel free to start wherever you like, okay? So we're going to just build beyond where we've gone before. So this is going to be... Woo! All right, it's challenging for me. I hope it's not challenging for you. Here we go, let's build it together. That's my starting pitch. 2, ready, go. Okay, all right. So I was leading the group yesterday in the group warm-up with this free buzz, and I was looking around the room, and I realized something. I cannot free buzz and look around the room because I get super dizzy and I might fall over. So yeah, good. Okay, so we're going to move right along to our mouthpiece sirens. We're really pushing, extending our ranges today. Okay, so we're going to start on C. Good. And then we're going to do G. We're going all the way up to a high C, and we're getting all the way down to our low C today. So A nice good siren blowing all the way through every note, especially if it feels difficult to buzz, right? Try to eliminate the notches. One big siren, here we go, starting on C, 2, ready. Starting on G, below that, 2, ready. Good. You may not have heard because you were buzzing yourself, but I had a little fuzzy moment in there, and that was me transitioning across my break as I buzz from my lower setting into my higher setting. Today I experienced it, so that's exactly why these are really great exercises. So G in the staff, G, and we're going an octave above that. 2, ready. Good. Now we're going to get up to our high C. Now, I just used what I consider an unacceptable word, which is I labeled it as high. Okay. So we get into this habit of thinking that our upper register notes are difficult. We think of them as being way up there in the ceiling, right? I want you to try this where instead of mentally aiming up, you're aiming down at the floor. Okay. That's what we think of our high C's. We look down at them. So we're going to start on C. Descend as you aim. Descend your mental aim as we go up to this high C. Nice, good gliss. Here we go. Big breath. 2, ready. Good, awesome. Now we're going to start on a low C. Below that. Okay, try to gliss all the way up and back down. Big breath. Here we go. 1, 2, ready. Whew. All right, sirens take a lot of control, but they're very good for you. Okay, I noticed they take a lot of corner strength, right? That's good. Okay, so we left off at C. That's the harmonic series. That's the harmonic that we're starting on now in our harmonic series. So we're going to start on the 1, 2, and 3 F horn combination. We're going to climb. Let me play this once for you so you can get it in your ear, and then we'll do it as a group. Every note is an arrow pointing to the next note, blowing through your notes, not at them. Let's do this together as a group. 1, 2, ready. Excellent. Okay, let's do it. 1 and 3 combination. So ascending 1 half step from where we just started. 2, ready. Two and 3 combination. Up another half step. 2, ready. ascend that we want to kiss the mouthpiece, keep the corners forward, not backward. No smiling as we go into the high range, okay? Only kissing. 1 and 2 fingering combination. Here we go. 2, ready? Awesome. Okay, now on the E flat horn. All right, first valve. Here we go. 2, ready? Good. We're starting to get into the upper register, right? That's a good thing. What do we do with our upper register notes? We look down on them for how often they ruin our lives. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Second valve combination. Here we go. 2, ready? Last one, open F horn harmonic series, getting us up to that upper register C. Notice what I didn't call it. Okay, together. 1, 2, ready? Awesome, excellent. Okay, we're making some good progress in our harmonic series, really extending ourselves on this. This is great work. So I'm going to do briefly the lip trill builder, okay, because we're getting to a point where it's getting fairly advanced. We've been progressing you very quickly day by day on trills, but it's only an example of where you would want to get to over the course of probably months, okay, because that's what I believe how long it takes for lip trills to actually develop. Rule number 1 with lip trills, you always want to stay in control. If you have an uneven lip trill, if you allow your lip trill to get uneven, you are practicing uneven lip trills. It does you no favors, okay? So you've got to start and only push yourself to where you can control the flick and make sure that you've got even notes, okay? So I'm just going to display this once for you so you get an idea of the trajectory of where we're going. I'm going to move right into beautiful sounds. So displaying once for you. Good. All right. So that's the goal eventually, someday. It only took me a couple of years to get there. So, good.
Can relate to that.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm still working on it. So, yes. Okay, let's move into our beautiful sounds. In the interest of time, I don't know if we're going to get through all of these, but we're going to do a fair amount of them. These really make me feel good and warmed up for the day. It feels like, okay, I can actually spin a phrase in rehearsal this morning because I did my beautiful sounds. So let's start these. We're going to do it a little faster than we've done them in the past couple days. So. Let's keep them moving, all right? As we extend into the upper and lower ranges, feel free to drop out. If they're out of your range of control, feel free to only do the treble clef ones as we ascend. If you're more comfortable with that, I'll let you tailor it to your own specific needs. So we're going to start with these first 3 lines before we do a page turn. Count us off 4 for nothing. 1, 2, 3. A flat. 2, ready. a page turn, or maybe all you're doing is scrolling on your PDF. I actually have a physical page. Okay, we're going to continue with A below the staff. Let's keep going. 4 for nothing. 1, 2, ready. No speakies on B. Flat, 2, ready? Walked it down, D flat, ready? 1, 2, ready? Okay, we stop for a page turn. Very good. Okay, maybe empty the horn a bit. In case you're gurgling, all right? No water in the horn here. All right. Very good. Okay. Now, are you remembering your breath? Are you remembering to breathe? Take one nice deep breath at the beginning. Try to get through the entire phrase in one breath if you can. Spin your air through the line and really create that most ideal, beautiful French horn sound. Okay, beautiful sound in the world, or at least for today. So, on a low C, here we go. Continuing. 1, 2, and more, F sharp. Okay, flat, 2, 3. Two more, G in the staff. Pedal G, 2, 3. Oh, almost ran out of air on that one. Cool, so let's stop there for today. So we ended up getting up to an octave above where we started with G below the staff, and an octave below that on pedal G, right? The idea is to continue pushing yourself in the range day by day, all right? Hopefully you can get up into the extremes, up and down into the extreme ranges of the horn. So, and for me particularly, this is very useful because as a second horn player, I'm really all over the map in terms of range where I play. So I can't just keep one of them in shape and ignore the other. So let's skip the rest of these lines of beautiful sounds for now. We're going to go into our articulated chromatic scales. Okay, so we're going to do these. This is going to be challenging for me at least. I don't know about for you. We're going to do it both on the F horn, and then we're going to try it on the B flat horn. And I'm going to willingly admit that my B flat horn fingerings are not exactly my favorite in terms of the chromatic scale, but we're going to try it anyways. So we're going to start at about bum bum bim bum 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 bum, about that rate. Okay, breathe where you need to. Hopefully just sneak breaths or sip breaths, something like that, to get you through the line. Okay, so our starting point, I'm going to try to stay on the F horn. F horn the full time, the first time through, okay? So here we go. I'm going to count us off for nothing. 1, 2, ready. Woo, sweet. Okay, my favorite. Love it. Yes. Can't avoid it though, otherwise it's going to always stay bad. So let's switch over to the B flat horn only. B flat horn. This is low C starting on thumb 1 and 3, and we're going up from there. Good luck, everybody. Counting us off 4 for nothing. 1, 2, ready. All right, golden medal climbing for me.
Yes,
I will
correct.
take it. Thank you very much. All right. Okay. Really good to practice both your F horn and your B flat horn fingering, as my horn falls out of my lap. Okay. Let's move on to our articulated major and articulated major scales and arpeggios. I can speak today really well. Okay, so now we're moving into 2 octave scales in 8th notes, as well as 2 octave arpeggios. Yay, this is awesome. Love it. Okay, so I'll demonstrate once, and then we'll launch into this. For this, use any articulation that you want. Just make sure that it's easy and it's writing on the air and the buzz. And you can use any fingerings that you want, whatever is comfortable. All right, at this point, we're just in survival mode. So it's going to be something like this. Woo! All right, sweet. Pretty fast. I know you can do it. Okay, let's start on low C. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, on G, 2, ready? On D, 2, ready? A, 2, ready? Sweet. Okay, on E, here we go. 1, 2, ready? B, 2, ready? Sometimes we make it, sometimes we don't. On F sharp, 2, ready? On D flat, 2, ready? A flat, almost there. 1, 2, ready? E flat, 1, 2, ready? B flat, 2, ready? Last one on F, 2, ready? Woo! All right, good. Okay, barely made it.
You made it.
Made it, that's all that matters, right? Okay, so those are going to get even harder tomorrow, and luckily Bernard gets to handle that one. So, okay, since we have a couple extra minutes, going through the optional warm downs on pedals. Okay, It's basically just getting the lips nice and loose. It feels really good after you've done some heavy playing. Okay, Mahler symphonies, Strauss, definitely Bruckner. I can't even feel my face after we play Bruckner. Marching band, okay, anything. So here we go. It's going to sound like this. That sort of thing. I notice that when I'm really tired after a concert, I can barely get down there. So I sometimes, they'll just fuzz out. The notes will literally, the buzz will just stop. I get down to the notes where it wants to stop, and I just sit there. And I just wait for the lip to relax. So. It might take a couple of tries, but you'll feel the lip suddenly release. It's just like, okay, I'm not going to hold on to this tension anymore. You're right. I should actually relax. Ugh. Okay, it feels really good when you do this. Highly recommend warm downs after strenuous practice and rehearsals and concerts and all of that. So, unless anyone has any questions, we will be transitioning shortly to Peggy's presentation, which I'm very excited about. I think mindfulness in horn playing is absolutely paramount to what we do. So I think this is going to be a great presentation. Do we have any questions in the chat, Liz?
We have some questions. Would you like to come over here and hang out with me? And then we
would
can
like to
answer
come over
them?
there and hang out with you. Okay, so.
Can you?
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for joining, everyone. I'll answer questions from over there.
Hi, everyone. So hopefully, can you all hear me okay? Can you hear me? Yeah. Think about it. Okay. So, Jesse, if you'd like to come hang out.
Certainly.
We had one question from Heidi. Asked if next week the warm-up continues to get more challenging, or do we start over next week?
Next week is basically a repeat of what we've done this week with new songs of the day.
Okay.
We rebuild the same warm-up routine from the beginning.
Okay. Is there an option maybe in the future, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot at all, but in the future, maybe could we do an extended kind of warm-up thing? Would that be something you all would be interested in?
That would be fantastic.
I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be a larger project, but it might be kind of cool to experience at least.
Yeah, that's
maybe.
A great idea. In fact, in this moment, I have a number of ideas for that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I don't want to say them on live television yet.
Sure, right, yeah, we gotta
to
keep that under wraps a little bit.
Right. I need to talk to Bernard. I'm not allowed to make decisions without talking to Bernard, which is not true because I make decisions without Bernard all the time.
Right,
But
sure,
in
for
this
sure.
case, I'm not going to make any decisions without Bernard. So,
Okay,
yeah.
great. Well, Peggy, are you feeling comfy?
I am.
All right,
Cool.
Jesse, thank you so much. It's
Yeah,
great to see you. I'll see you
likewise.
again in like an hour, but.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah, all right,
See
have
you
a good
around
one.
camp.
See ya. All right, so we'll now switch back to Peggy.
Let's see. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Excellent. It is just so exciting to be here doing Horn Camp Connect from KBHC in person. We have been working so hard the last few years to create programs for everyone while we couldn't get together in person, and now to be able to do both things, to be able to meet in person and have our camp. Look, there's somebody, is that a nail porn person? To meet in person and have our camp that we love so much, but also to continue to reach out to you and connect with everyone across the country and across the world. Elizabeth and I were texting during that first part and saying, I think most of the people who are on right now have been on all week. Now Lupe gets the prize for earliest because it's 4 a.m. there. We think that's true. Yeah, we don't know. Let us know if it's even earlier. But we just so appreciate you joining us. We appreciate everyone who joins us and listens to us on YouTube. And it's so exciting to be able to do both. Thanks for being here. As Jesse said, and as my title is, my talk today is going to be on mindfulness in our practice and performance as horn players. And this is something I know many of you who are here right now have joined us for many of our online things, and this is what I usually talk about for my online sessions, a lot because it's been extremely helpful to me. And again, this kind of synergy of having the in-person camp and the online has also made me kind of alter this a little bit from my original plan. I'm going to go through a handful of meditations, but I've added one at the end because earlier this week I did a mindful warm-up for the participants here at in-person KBHC. And what I did was I took, Bernard and Jesse's, I took the form of their routine that they did in November with Sadie's Horn Camp Connect. I took that and then I wrote short meditations to do kind of around each exercise with the idea that you can do this kind of thing no matter what you're playing. And so it was really great. A lot of people came to the warm-up, and then later in the day, someone said to me, well, how does mindfulness help with burnout? And I thought, that's a really good question. So I've actually also will end today with a short meditation on just maybe some burnout things. And I don't know about you, but that kind of resonates with me. It's been quite a few years. I think, we all might be feeling some burnout. So first of all, feel free to chime in if, it'd be great to know in the chat if you have any experience doing mindfulness, if the mindfulness you've been kind of exposed to is just through my talks on Horn Camp Connect, or our online offerings, if this is something that you've done or that's totally new. So throughout the session, please feel free to enter in the chat any thoughts that you have, any experiences you have, any questions. So for me, mindfulness is something that I feel like maybe a couple decades ago, someone said, hey, mindfulness is a great thing to do for kind of successful performance. And just this morning at camp, there was a participant who'd been like, hey, can I talk to you about some things? And so I was like, oh, sure. And he said, well, can you tell me about like what things you do for performance anxiety? And I feel like there's kind of this toolbox of things that are kind of known, that we can do for performance anxiety. And I think mindfulness is definitely on that list. And so about, it was probably 15, 18 years ago, I remember the performance. I was getting ready to play Beethoven 3 second horn with the Indianapolis Chamber Orchestra. I was really excited about it, but really wanted to make sure I was successful. And someone said, oh, there's this book called Everyday Zen by Charlotte Joko Beck. And she said, read that, it's a great book. And it is a great book, I love it. It's really about this idea of how mindfulness, it's an everyday thing. It's not, okay, I'm gonna be mindful and then I'm gonna go do my day. It's part of your everyday. So that was really helpful. And there were some really great kind of suggestions in that book about labeling your thoughts that I found really helpful in preparing for that performance, and that I kind of kept using throughout my career. Throughout the last few decades, I would do different things with mindfulness. Jon Kabat-Zinn is kind of the person who really brought mindfulness kind of to the States and kind of as something that people do. And he has mindfulness meditations that you can just buy the recording, and I would do those. But I found that I was getting to the point where I wasn't making it an everyday thing, like an every second thing. I would listen to a meditation, focus on my breathing, I'd be in the moment, and then I'd be done with that. I get up and I practice, and I wouldn't bring those concepts into my playing or my practice. And so that's what I'm working on with these exercises. So we will start actually with just a basic meditation that is not going to be connected yet, just to kind of get us in the mode. And then we're going to do one related to practice and one related to performance. So unless there's any questions, we will start with a coming to your breath meditation. So go ahead and get in a comfortable seat, in your chair or sitting on the floor. Rest your hands on your knees, palms up or down, whichever you prefer. Close your eyes gently, or if you prefer, keep a soft focus, looking down. Take a moment to listen to the sounds around you. This week I've been enjoying this part of the meditation because there are birds. Notice what's that, if it's birds, if it's traffic sounds, if it's somebody in another room. Now bring your attention to your breath. Without changing it, notice if it's deep or shallow. Pay attention to what parts of your body are sympathetically moving as you breathe. As horn players, we spend a lot of time manipulating our breath. This isn't the time for that. Just notice it. Let it be as it is. Now expand your awareness to your full body. Notice if you feel tension or tightness anywhere. And if you do, don't judge that as good or bad. Just bring your breath there. Notice if you feel like you're holding up yourself or whether you're able to relax around your posture. So think about your breath and any energy in your body. It's kind of spinning, and bring it down to your toes. Just notice your toes. Bring your breath to them. And we're just going to slowly scan our bodies. Think about bringing that breath and energy to the top of your foot. To the bottom of your foot, to your heel. Up the back of your ankles, into your calves and around the front of your leg. Around your knees. And then all the way up your legs, into your hips. Bring your breath to your stomach and all around your back. Think of that energy swirling up your spine and encircling both the front and the back. Bring your breath to your shoulders And then down slowly your arms, triceps, your elbows, all the way to your wrists and each fingertip. Let the energy move back up your arms and start swirling around your neck. It's a place I just felt some tension. Bring your breath to your jaw and your cheeks. Feel your forehead just melting down, your eyebrows, your eyes, your cheekbone. And finally, bring your breath to the back of your head and the top of your head. Think about that connection from where we just ended, top of your head, all the way down to the toes where we started. Let your breath fill everywhere without forcing it. Now bring your attention back to your breath. Notice if it has changed at all. And when you're ready, open your eyes. All right, so again, many of you have woken up very early for these sessions. I've got my coffee. I almost took a drink of caffeine while I was doing the mindfulness meditation, and I thought, maybe that's not. Maybe I can wait till I actually finish the meditation to do that. But you know, just taking a few moments to tune into your breath, to notice what's there, to scan your body. If we do this every day, we're gonna notice, oh yeah, my shoulders are tense. Oh right, I played a lot last night. You know, or oh wow, my mind is really kind of going places. You kind of notice the differences each day. And again, you don't judge. It's not about that's wrong, that's right. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking about this. I feel like this. It's not about that something's right or wrong. It's about noticing what's there so that you can, you know, honor that and act accordingly. You know, if your shoulders are really tight, you might end up playing and notice that your high range isn't comfortable. Think, oh my gosh, what's wrong? Is it my chops? Oh wait, that's right. My shoulders are tight. Okay, let's see if I can play that high range part again and focus on my shoulders. That might really help you kind of identify some what's kind of getting in your way in a practice session. I saw that Lupe said something. Nice. Yes, you can meditate on your coffee experience. I think that's a very good idea.
It's like maybe the best way to do this.
Grateful. We are grateful for our coffee. By the way, the coffee at White Mountain is quite good. If you've ever been at camp with me, you know that I bring lots of coffee devices to make my own coffee, and I've not done that this year. I've been quite pleased. So I think, you know, the thing that I always want to emphasize when it comes to mindfulness is that, so we just did, again, a general mindfulness meditation where we focus on our breath and we kind of just notice what's there in terms of our breath, in terms of our body. I didn't say much about kind of our mind, but that's also part of it, noticing what thoughts go through your head, whether that's, I'd like some coffee. But I think it's, for me, for myself, and then in my teaching as well, I always feel like it's very important to remember that meditation is not about, oh, I'm going to be in the Zen perfect state. It truly is identifying what's there and accepting it. And so what's there might be nice feelings. It might be not great feelings. It might be frustration. It might be, anger. It might be thinking back to something that happened yesterday, either in a good way or a bad way. And so I really do think of meditation as a real kind of counterpart to practicing, because I think it's something that brave people do. And I think musicians are really brave, because our job is to go into a practice room and listen to what's not good and then fix it and then identify it, right? And I think that's really brave. Like, that's hard to do. Like, oh, I'm gonna go identify what's not good, and then I'm just gonna spend time with it. I just don't think that's something that, we really think about on a daily basis, but that's what we do. And, of course, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we would prefer to play things that we are good at and avoid the things that we're not good at. I think Jesse had a comment about that earlier. If we're not identifying the things that's not going well in our playing, and we don't spend time on it, it's not going to get any better. But it's that saying for practicing: if you sound good when you're practicing, you're not practicing the right things. And I think about that with meditation too. And I think my thinking was off. Okay, I'm going to do this meditation and I'm going to be calm. And it does help me. Some of you commented like that was great, and that I think it really does help us calm down. But it's not about, oh, I'm doing this wrong if I'm angry, or I'm doing this wrong if I'm frustrated. No, if you're frustrated in the practice room, you're doing it right, right? So same thing with meditation. So related to that is the meditation I've written for our practice, because again, we do this practice thing on a daily basis, depending on your level and kind of how much you get to play. We're probably all putting at least a little time in. And I find for myself that, sometimes, I'm sure you feel this way too, sometimes your practice is focused and you know what you're trying to accomplish and it's great and it's efficient. And sometimes we might be really distracted. Sometimes we're exhausted and we're just, okay, I got to put the time in. But I think knowing where we are, identifying that, and then really trying to be mindful with, okay, this is the time I have to practice. And so I need to focus on the things that need to get better. And that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I think that can be really helpful. So for this practice meditation, something that you've got your horns nearby since you just warmed up. You can do this, or you can just think about it. But if there's a passage, or maybe there's something in the routine that Jesse just did that just didn't work for you, or some passage that you're working on that I just can't get this yet. Either pick up your horn and play it right now, or just close your eyes and think about it, kind of go through it in your head. Just identify something like, oh, that line and that one, fingers are just can't get them to line up. So pick something in your practice these days that might be a source of frustration or something that you're just working on, and go ahead and either play it or think through it. Okay. And now, go ahead and put your horn down if you picked it up. And we'll do this next meditation. I'm going to take my coffee first. Everyone take a comfortable seat, either on a chair or the floor. Rest your hands comfortably in your lap. Close your eyes and just notice what's happening around you. Is it similar to what was happening at the beginning of the last meditation? Has a new sound come into your environment? Now bring your attention back to your breath. Notice it just as it is. Feel as the air enters and leaves your nostrils. As you continue to be observant of your breath, now notice where your mind is. And let your mind be where it is. Don't push or pull thoughts in any particular direction. There's no right or wrong thought. But see if you can notice them as an observer, rather than attaching and following that thought. Notice them as they go by. Oh, hello, friend. Oh, that thought. Now bring your mind to something in your horn practice you've been struggling with, or perhaps something you've been avoiding working on. What emotions come up when you bring your mind to these issues? Notice these emotions and make room for them. Instead of pushing any frustration, anger, or worry away, sit with them. Honor what's there as part of your experience. And notice if your automatic reaction is to push against them. No, I can't feel frustrated. I can't feel angry. I can't worry about this. Notice that pushing and make room for that too. Keep sitting with these feelings, noticing if they ebb and flow, push or pull, or even dissipate when you bring your attention to them. Bring your breath to these emotions, just like we brought our breath to tension in our body. Breathe into these emotions. Your focus now is to sit with these emotions, let them be. I think of making space right in the middle of my body for them. Here, you can sit here. Now gently let go of your attention on these feelings and bring your mind back to your breath. Notice where it is right now, if it's changed since the beginning of this meditation. And finally, start to listen to the sounds around you again. Take one more breath and open your eyes. And when you've come back to the present moment here, if you picked up your horn to play something before this meditation, do that. If you just thought through something, go back to that. And notice if your reaction to that has changed at all. And if you want to, you can chime in the chat. Let me know what you felt, how that might have been different. And really how that meditation was different than the first one we did. This was a very specific meditation on what we do as horn players. Felt more calm, clarity. Great, Lupe. I often think about how many things we have to do as musicians that are so repetitive, right? And that are meant to be, in some ways, mindless, right? You know, I have my students do scale tests. You know, we're trying for the muscle memory. I want them to understand the scales too, but there's so much that we are programming our muscles to do. And there's so much that we do day in and day out because we know we have to do it for the long run. You know, there are plenty of days, you know, full confession here that I read the paper while I warm up. I'm doing it. Elizabeth, no, okay.
Huh?
I thought you were judging, but I'm just kidding.
No. I maybe definitely watch Netflix.
Oh yeah, watch Netflix. Yeah. So I mean, again, we do this every day, you know, and I'm okay with that. Oh, nice, Heidi. Drop some of the tension. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, so I mean, there's real things. So Elizabeth watches Netflix, and I was just kidding. I knew you were judging.
Yeah.
This is a very judgment-free zone here at KBHC. But you know, we do these things, and our goal is to have these habits that happen, right? So you know, I was just talking to somebody about performance anxiety, and part of it is have your habits so ingrained that no matter what's going on, your habits click in. So not as simple as that, but that's one of the things I know that I try for and I talk to my students about. So yes, there are a lot of ways that we just can't be mindful, right? Or that we've trained ourselves to do the things we have to do, and sometimes we're not mindful. But I think anytime we start to bring mindfulness to that, it really helps us just identify kind of a deeper way of fixing things. And I think Heidi's comment especially encapsulates that, drop some of the tension, right? I'm sometimes amazed at, like, after, again, decades of doing yoga and working on mindfulness, and like I think about how tense I just was as like a college student, and I think like, wow, I've come a long way. Oh yeah, but there's still a lot of tension there, or tension that comes up at certain times. And so I think bringing this mindfulness, especially to problems that in the practice room, perhaps we feel like we're hitting a wall. Bring your attention to that. Notice, you know, whenever we're in that situation, our body and our mind are reacting in certain ways, and they can help us or they can not help us. And if, for instance, oh, I'm trying to play something fast and I'm not getting it, and so I'm getting tense, and so it's it's kind of, that isn't helping. Oh, okay, I dropped some of the tension. All of a sudden, I can do it faster. Okay. So that's kind of our example of a practice meditation. And again, I've written out these meditations. They're just what I kind of have come up with. I'm altering them as I go, but they are going to be a handout. So certainly, you know, if you like them and you got the handout, I would suggest you, Elizabeth's so fast.
Boom, handouts.
Boom. You know, I would suggest you record yourself, or, you know, this will be online for a while, but, or just, you know, if you kind of do it enough times, you can kind of do it for yourself. So they're just suggestions, alter them as they work for you. So the very first kind of presentation I had on mindfulness for online KBHC was our first online KBHC experience. In fact, this one. In 2020, and I did a short meditation before I did a masterclass, and somebody asked me, do you find that mindfulness is distracting for performance? And I thought it was a great question, because when we're performing, right, we want to have the music in mind. And you know, we might think, well, if I'm trying to be mindful, is that taking away from my performance? And as with anything, you know, people will ask me questions about mindfulness, and I certainly don't think of myself as an expert. I just think of myself as someone who's been doing this and wants to share it. But I always kind of think about the question, and then I go like, oh, no, like, it's not going to distract us. You know, it helps us perform, because our focus is not on mindfulness, it's on what we're doing, right? And so the idea of being mindful in a performance is about focusing on the music. focusing on what we want to create, focusing on the physical experience of being there. Now, one of the things that I do think about practicing performing is that sometimes in order to get enough kind of practice performing, in addition to playing for other people and things like that, I think visualization is a very powerful way of preparing for performances. And, I say that with the caveat that, if you're visualizing something in the future, that kind of isn't being present in the present moment, right? But I think it's being aware that, okay, I'm doing this visualization practice in order to prepare to be mindful in my performance. I think that can help us. And so when I first kind of put this together, I thought, I don't know if these are kind of opposite ideas, but I think they work together really well. And again, what we want is a toolbox of ways of working on things. And I think in this way, visualization and mindfulness work together really well. So the exciting thing about this is that when I first kind of developed these meditations, it was still kind of in the midst of not a lot of performances happening. And I feel like obviously things come and go, some things are still being canceled, but I think it's exciting that you probably, you're able to think about a performance you've had recently or that you have upcoming, because we're starting to get some live music again. So let's do our performance visualization / meditation. Once more, get into a comfortable seated position. Close your eyes and connect with your breath again. Take note if your breath is deeper than it was in the first meditation, or slower, or just the same. No judgment, just notice. Bring your attention now to your mind. Notice where your thoughts are. Are you more settled than at the beginning of the session? Or is your mind starting to leap ahead to the future? Sit with what thoughts come up and with what emotions accompany them. I know for me, despite the fact that mindfulness is helpful, sometimes I'm like, okay, let's get this done and then I can do it. It's probably the coffee speaking. Don't push them away or attach anything to them. Okay, thinking about coffee again. Just make room for them as you breathe into the space they occupy. Now, bring to mind a performance that you have sometime in the future. And notice what emotions arise when you think about this performance. Are you excited? Do you feel that nervous tension? Are you anticipating it? Or is there a little bit of dread somewhere below there? Again, there's no right or wrong way to feel. It doesn't disqualify us if we have certain emotions about performances. It's just our experience. Let those emotions be there. Notice if you want to push them away. If your mind says, oh, that's not something I can think if I'm going to have a successful performance. Notice that, and then let them be. Now, with that performance in mind, Visualize the morning of that performance as you open your eyes to start the day. Notice what emotions you're feeling in visualizing that moment. You could just be like, oh, I'm tired. Or I'm excited. Or, okay, here we go. Again, what you feel in this visualization is fine. Now see yourself getting ready for your day and for that performance. Feel the ground under your feet, your coat on your shoulders, your horn on your back. Now envision yourself getting into your car and driving to your performance. Feel the seatbelt click into place. Notice what emotions arise as you approach the hall. Again, don't force any feelings. Just see what arises and make space for it. Feel your feet hit the pavement as you walk toward the hall, and your hand on the door handle as you pull it open. Walking backstage, again, be aware of what emotions are there with you. You're now opening your case and putting your horn together. And you're aware of the feel of the mouthpiece and your deep breath as you warm up. You're in the sound as you create. Again, notice what emotions arise as you see yourself backstage, hearing the crowd. Breathe into the emotions and walk on stage. Take a deep breath and create your music. Whatever feelings are happening in this visualization, let them be and let them wash over you. You're not controlling them, but they're not controlling you either. As you finish the piece, feel a smile on your face and your feet hitting the floor as you walk off stage. As we finish this visualization, connect again with any emotions that arose. There are no right or wrong emotions here, just the reality of what you felt. Stay with these emotions and accept them. Breathe into them. Now shift your attention back to the breath. It may be faster or shallower than before, and just notice that. Now slowly become aware of those sounds around you again. Take one more breath and open your eyes. Now I'm interested in what you felt and what you experienced there. And there's one, yeah, I want to get to the comment in the chat. But one thing I'll say before I talk about that is that I think this is a very different visualization than sometimes we do. And I know for me, again, in my toolbox of getting ready for performances, visualization was definitely one of them. But oftentimes when I would do that visualization, I would visualize myself and be like, I have to be feeling this, I have to be feeling this, I have to be feeling this. And, you know, I think, you know, I think that makes sense. I was trying to visualize what I wanted to happen. And I found some success in that. But, you know, there have actually been like studies about, you know, is it better to try to like replace and force and okay, kind of ideas and feelings, or is it better to accept what's there? And it's, you are actually more successful at kind of moving through emotions if you accept them. And one thing that reminds me of, there is a book that my husband is really interested in. I think it's called Choke, which is not my favorite kind of title for a book. But it kind of talks about like, you know, why we kind of freeze up in things. And people who wrote down their fears before a test were more successful than those who tried to kind of push those fears away. And it seems like, I mean, again, you know, when we're kind of positive thinking and all that, it's like, I don't want to write down what I'm scared of. But again, in so many ways, by pushing it away, you're giving it power. By writing it down, by accepting it, you're kind of letting it just be what it is. And so that's kind of my idea in this visualization. I don't, I'm not saying, oh my gosh, I can't feel that way if I'm going to a performance. I think, oh, okay, in this experience, that's how I feel. Let's just make room for it. This is what I'm experiencing. And even as I'm reading this one, you know, at the end, I say like, feel the smile on your face. It's like, you don't have to feel that. You know, like if that's not what you're feeling in that performance, that's okay. And so it just kind of, again, kind of some thoughts for me for kind of combining visualization and meditation. Okay, so the comment in the chat, I tried it in my last concert before hitting a solo and I was kind of overwhelmed just counting the remaining bars. Too many things to think about, counting, listening to what was going on, hearing the first note in my head, the image or color I wanted to create, the inner rhythm, plus the unwanted thoughts. Yeah, so that's a really great comment, you know, and like I said, like this idea of if I'm trying to be mindful, it's like one more thing that I'm trying to do when I'm on stage. And so what I would say there is, something that I tell my students to do in terms of like, especially like orchestral excerpts, I say like, you have to have this like grid before you start. So we have to have the tempo, right? We have to have, you know, the hearing the orchestra playing. You have to have a really clear plan. And it's not just like, oh, okay, I have the tempo. It is, you know, okay, I'm going to write down that I'm going to count 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm going to write that on my page so that there's this real grid that I just lock in before I start to play. And I think about that kind of with mindfulness as well, because you're right. If you're trying to like be aware of all of these things, that's just too many things. And so what I would suggest is pick one, maybe two, but just one or two things to focus on. Okay, so before the solo in, you know, Festive Overture, I'm thinking about the subdivision. And then my goal when I'm playing is to think about singing through the phrase. And again, the idea is to have a few things to have your mind focused on, and then also have that kind of those habits that okay, this is how I've practiced it, so I'm going to focus on these couple of things so that what I've practiced comes through. Does that make any sense? Chime in if that addresses that. Lupe says, the thought of trying to dismiss an emotion suddenly sounds like an extra feeling inside. Accepting and making room for what's there, it sounds calmer. Yeah, that's, you know, that's, I think that's a really great way of saying it, right? You know, it's like if you have, let's say, anxiety, right? Okay, there's anxiety. If you have anxiety and you're saying, I can't have anxiety, that's extra, right? And so then you don't just have the anxiety, you have the pushing against it. And so being like, oh, okay, I have anxiety. Hey, anxiety, you want to just hang out here for a little while? Oh yeah, that's me. My teacher Jeff Nelson used to just be like, "Oh hello, oh that emotion is here again. Oh hello," like just treat it like an old friend. Accept that our thoughts and fears are just thoughts and emotions, and they are temporary and don't define us. We may have anxious thoughts, but we are not anxious. Meditation can teach us how to let go of the thoughts. Yeah, Heidi, that's exactly right. And that's what I think. I think when we're struggling with it, when we're fighting against it, that's it. It's easier to kind of fall into that defining ourselves by that battle. Like, I have anxiety and I'm going to fight against it. I have these fears and I'm going to fight against it. Versus, oh, okay, here's part of my experience are these anxious thoughts or these angry thoughts or things like that. Oh, but here's other parts of my experience. Yeah, I think that's great. Okay, so it's funny, we're at camp, we're on 50-minute classes, and which is of course what I do as a teacher at college. And so all of a sudden I looked at my clock and thought, we only have 3 minutes left. And it's like, oh no, we have as much time as we. So as I said, that was kind of my full kind of talk. And then, the participants here have just been asking some really great questions about kind of my ideas on mindfulness. Thank you, Heidi.
Thanks, Heidi.
Yes. Somebody said, how does mindfulness help in burnout? And I think with anything, like, I always feel like we're always looking for that key, right? Oh, I want to fix this. How do I fix this? Somebody asked me about performance anxiety. How do I fix burnout? How do I fix this? And I think mindfulness, again, is a great tool, but it's not the key. It's not like, oh, click, I have mindfulness and now I'm not anxious anymore. Oh, click, I have mindfulness, now I'm not burned out anymore. But I think, as with anything with burnout, and I relate to that, it's been a lot of work being a college professor and faculty member for KBHC and executive director of KBHC and a mom and all these things during these last few years of pandemic times. And I've certainly felt a lot of burnout, and I don't want to feel burnout. I am someone who really finds meaning in getting a lot done. Kind of going boom, 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 boom through my schedule. And now I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to do this. And when I'm burned out, I can't do that. And I know Elizabeth and I had some discussions this year when we were both like, but again, mindfulness might not solve the burnout, but I think it helps us react to it. Because again, saying I'm burned out, I can't be burned out, I have to not be burned out, that doesn't actually help, and that makes it worse sometimes. And so being, oh, I'm burned out. Okay, let's just sit with that for a second. Let's honor that. Let's be kind to ourselves. Of course I'm burned out. Look at all that I've been doing and all that's going on in the world. And I think that can help us make good decisions so that perhaps the burnout won't be quite as long as it would have been otherwise. So you all have been so great at joining me with 3 meditations. Let's try, this is a new one. Let's try one last one before we head out for the day. Close your eyes one last time this hour. Notice the sounds around you, the feeling of sitting and coming to your breath again. Notice the effect that this hour of meditation has had on your thoughts and your body. You may feel grounded, or you may be ready to stop sitting and get moving. As always, either state is fine. Honor what you are this morning. Now tap into how you're feeling today in general. What state of mind you're in. This has been a long few years with many stresses and uncertainties. Do you feel burned out? Or energized? Or just ready for a nap? If you're burned out, sit with that feeling. Burnout is from pushing ourselves too much. And so pushing yourself to not feel that way often just exacerbates the burnout. Notice as well what feelings are connected with this burnout. Does frustration arise as you face this exhaustion? Do you feel like crying? Putting your head down? Everything and anything you feel is acceptable. It's where you are right now. Pushing it away or saying that it's wrong doesn't help us, and sometimes just extends the burnout. Notice any bodily sensations that arise as well. Is there tension from trying to push through exhaustion? Bring your breath there. Now think about how you'd approach a friend feeling what you're feeling. What kindness and space would you allow them? Offer these feelings to yourself. Seeing yourself and treating yourself with great kindness and allowance. Bring yourself back now to your breath, allowing it to be what it is right now. Take one more breath and open your eyes. I'd be curious to know any thoughts on that meditation. And again, I just wrote that out yesterday. I thought that might be a good thing to include, kind of extra. And I think anytime we think, hey, I wonder how mindfulness could help this, maybe just close your eyes and think, okay, I'm gonna just do a mindfulness meditation on that. Because, oh, I'm feeling this. Okay, I'm gonna sit with it. That's gonna help us. It's gonna help us acknowledge what we're going through and what's happening right now in our body and our mind. And again, I think with many things, I think that we do for the horn, I think they're tools that can help us with the rest of our lives too, whether that's burnout on the horn or burnout in life, or just acknowledging kind of where we are. So I have to say, I want to say thank you to everyone who's here in person and that is online in the moment, live, and those of you who will tune in later on YouTube. It's a real honor to share this and to have you kind of walk through this with me, and just like teaching, it's an honor to be part of your process of working through things. Certainly, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. You can put them in the chat, or send me an email. It's peggy@horncamp.org. Lupe and Heidi are posting things about our kind of fun little fundraiser for this Horn Camp Connect live from KBHC. We've got some t-shirts that you can, yes? Is that what she was connecting?
Have not announced that yet.
I thought that was the link. Okay, so there'll be something fun later that I just jumped on. Lupe just, Lupe, wait for the announcement. You can have a purple t-shirt if you'd like. But you can also donate. That's what Heidi shared. So, so thank you so much. We believe strongly in offering these as a gift, to offer them free, but we do we do also believe in paying for the people who are doing all the work. And so donations are really extremely important to being able to fulfill our mission. And yes, that was a sneak peek for something that Elizabeth is creating. Awesome. Lupe, you're going to have your chance. Thank you again so much. You probably have some ending things to say, but as always, we're thrilled to see you online. We hope that you are also able to join us one of these days in New Hampshire. I have to brag, I'm from Oklahoma. It's like 115 there right now. It's been in the 70s here. I'm pretty happy. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, me again. Yes, so as Peggy said, we are starting a fundraiser, which I was actually planning on telling you about right now, so perfect timing anyway. But we are starting a fundraiser through Custom Ink that will allow participants from Horn Camp Connect or Horn Camp in general or wherever to purchase a t-shirt. Some of the proceeds go to us, but we wanted to have that because in the past, especially in the past couple of years, as we've done online camp, several people have asked about, oh, can I buy a shirt? And so it seems like it's time. I think if you would like to do that, I will include that link. I don't have it right now, but I will include that link in the email that goes out tonight. And you're welcome to do that. It will also be on our social media probably later today, and I may even send out an email to our whole email list later today as well. Anyway, that all being said, thank you all so much for being here today, as Peggy said. And Peggy, thank you for such a wonderful, calm, and kind of centering session today. This has been Horn Camp Connect, live from KBHC 2022. Tomorrow, our featured faculty will be Randy Gardner. He's going to present on the ins and out of intonation, so that should be very lovely. And if you have any questions, please let us know. But otherwise, if you want to rewatch this session, you can do so on YouTube later today. I'll probably have that up sometime this evening. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.